Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Well, the NASA teams have been very busy over this holiday weekend because of the unbelievable can-do spirit. Artemis I has had extraordinary success and has completed a series of history-making events. So, for example, on Friday, for the first time, a human-rated spacecraft successfully entered that orbit for Artemis I called the distant retrograde orbit. And then on Saturday, Orion surpassed the distance record for a mission with a spacecraft designed to carry humans into deep space. And that record before had been set by Apollo 13 at about 248,000 miles from Earth. And just over an hour ago, Orion set another record, clocking its maximum distance from Earth, 270,000 miles. And of course, Artemis builds on Apollo. Not only are we going farther and coming home faster, but Artemis is paving the way to live and work in deep space in a hostile environment, to invent, to create, and ultimately to go on with humans to Mars. Now, since the launch, we have been receiving critical data back, and there's a lot more to come. For example, many of us know Arturo Campos was a NASA engineer who developed a plan to bring the crippled Apollo 13 crew home safely. For a mission that something terribly went wrong, it's looked in the annals of NASA as one of the most successful missions because they saved the crew. Well, on the spacecraft now, Orion, is Commander Munican Campos' namesake, his namesake aboard Orion. And this is a somewhat what we would call a mannequin, a Munican. He's outfitted with sensors to provide data on what crew members might experience in flight. And that data will continue Campos' legacy of enabling human exploration in deep space. Of course, we've said from the beginning, since this is a test flight, the biggest test after the launch is the reentry, because we want to know that that heat shield works at about 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit, almost half as hot as the sun. Coming in at 32 Mach, it's going to hit the atmosphere at about 200,000, at the ultimate entry point, and then it's going to dip down about 200,000 feet into the upper atmosphere at that 25,000 miles an hour. And then it's going to pull up and it's going to bleed off some of that speed to about Mach 22, 17,000 miles an hour. We've already learned a lot. And this team's resilience is just unbelievable. And it's incredible how smoothly the mission's gone. But it is a test. And that's what we do. We stress it and we test it. And when Orion comes home on the 11th of December, splashing down in a couple of weeks, we look forward to learning what all those sensors will have told us in order to be able to put 4 human beings on the top of Artemis II. And then we're going to the moon, into lunar orbit, in preparation for Artemis III, where we will have 4 go into a lunar polar elliptical orbit that will then have 2 of the astronauts in the lander go down to the surface. That will be the first woman and the next man.